I'm 4 minutes late. Don't. I got no excuse. I just simply lost track of time. Because I was talking, doing things, stuff, you know? But there's just really no excuse for being late when you set your own fucking time. It's just that you're just irresponsible. Just plain old disrespectful. No, man, I just kind of I was distracted and. I'm trying to set up my little high-tech little phone holder right here, which is this copper little outdoor it's like fireplace thing with one of my paintings leaned up against it and another piece of copper piping. I have a lot of copper I've been saving over the years, kind of right there, and so then you can sort of put the phone, I sort of set it right there, and then there we go. That's how it looks. A Biden moment. Biden got a bike back better. Biden got to learn how to ride a bike better. Biden got to learn how to ride a bike. Remember when he fell off his bike? They get the fool, some old fucking geezer who can barely walk. They get him on a bike for a fucking, for like some photo shoot thing. The only reason they had him on the bike is so they could get him, for the, to show that he's all like, cool or whatever, like playing around with the people and hanging out. He's just a normal guy riding his bike, fucking some old man who should not have been on a bike. I mean, men that old that are just, suffering from dementia, and they're like old frail dudes that walk around like this. Those guys don't ride bikes. It's like, that doesn't check out, man. You keep those guys off of bicycles. They don't usually, decide to go ride a bike because they know that. I mean, they're smart enough to know they can barely walk. I'm not going to go get on a bike, and where there's traffic and other people and stuff. Not smart. Oh, but Biden, no, he's still young. He's a young lad, He can go ride a bike. He's an exception. Well, he is the president of the United States, and wouldn't that have been interesting if, Biden, the president of the United States, he fell off his bike and, he died. It was a sad day. I don't know whose idea that was, but he's dead. It could happen. That's true. I mean, unless he was a robot. But the problem is, whatever they tell you in the news is usually not true, or if it is, the truth is being exploited in some way, or like driven at you in some direction to get you to, to manipulate you in some way. I mean, it's true. We all want to manipulate each other in some way. It's how society is social. It's like we all have, but in most cases, it's like, I'm trying to manipulate you into like paying attention to me and like listening to what I got to say because I think I'm, I got something to offer. I'm trying to manipulate you with humor. So you're like, oh, this is kind of charming. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, he's like, trying to tell us something. I'm trying to tell you that when you watch these screens, they manipulate you, whether they're people that are on them or even trying to. But when you watch the mainstream screen, look out. Every second on that fucking thing has been carefully formulated, probably by AI, to keep and capture your attention and get whatever result was hopefully expected, I mean, it's like, can you imagine the fact that they were bold enough to run this COVID thing after fucking 9/11, after just what happened, 20 years before, like just, wow, that was just like such a massive, massive, massive lie and all the drama that ensued. I mean, it's a wonder how people even took them seriously when COVID came along. I sure as fuck didn't. I just remember being like, no, Mom, Dad, it's not. It's not real. It's a hoax, And I was just trying to tell them, and like, I remember my mom being like, why? Why would they do that? I'm like, it's about control, but like, even if that sounds crazy to you, but just trust me, this is a manipulation. They're trying to hustle us to do something. There's an expected behavior they're trying to get out of us when this is all over. I mean, and when it's all over, you'll look back on it and you'll see that I was right. I really tried to like hammer my point in, but they still went out and pretended like it was real or whatever. That's what everybody was doing. They were just pretending because they didn't know. Or am I wrong? I think that's pretending if you don't really know that it's real, but you're still, I guess you could call it like, just being a scared bitch. All the same, you're pretending there's some threat, because like you haven't seen any evidence of it. I mean, what you see on your TV screen is TV. You're watching TV. What you experience when you're not watching TV, that's life. That's real life. When you're watching TV, you're seeing things that's not real life. It's on a TV screen. You can watch Superman fly. You can watch Smurfs, get chased by Gargamel. And you can watch Dr. Bass. But I'm still not in real life for you over there on the other side of the screen. It's just a show. I could be just some AI generated fucking, God, that would suck. What if I am? How do we really know that we're not? You know why? Because AI couldn't write a song this cool. AI know what AI is. AI is just one eye. AI know what AI is. AI is just an eye up in the sky. It's gonna spy on you and I and everyone in society. Say goodbye to your privacy. See, AI wouldn't have fucked that part up. But it's the most realistic shit you're going to get. But it's still fake shit. Don't mistake it for being real. It's not alive. Teach it how to walk, how to talk, how to pick a lock, how to wash your socks, how to read your mind. You can teach it how to jump rope, how to cook dope, how to tell a joke, but it don't understand the punchline. Teach it how to repeat it, but can it keep a secret? I don't think so, it won't know why. Hey, I know what AI is. AI is just an eye up in the sky. It's gonna spy on you and I and everyone in society. Say goodbye to your privacy. It's an algorithmic gimmick, been given no limit. Goes all the way out around and coming back in it. It's the official, artificial, digital idolatry. That's really all it could be. To call it intelligent is intellectual dishonesty. And once the cat's out of the bag, it's impossible to put it back. Fact check this, fact check that. AI fanatics act like drug addicts and manically panic if they can't get their gadgets activated. Assimilated nanodust is being sprayed and splayed all over us. Sustainable development. Expect to be enveloped in it. Hey, I know what AI is. AI is just an eye up in the sky. It's gonna spy on you and I and everyone in society. Say goodbye to your privacy. Can teach it how to play Tetris and chess and checkers and tic-tac-toe. Teach it how to repeat shit, but can it keep a secret? I don't think so. I don't think so. You can teach it how to jump rope, how to cook dope, how to tell a joke, but it don't understand the punchline. Teach it how to play Tetris and chess and checkers and tic-tac-toe. Teach it how to repeat shit, but can it keep a secret? I don't think so. It's the most realistic shit you're going to get, but it's still fake shit. Don't mistake it for being real. It's not alive. Teach it how to walk, how to talk, how to pick a lock, how to wash your socks, how to read your mind. No thanks. It's the official, artificial, digital idolatry. That's really all it could be to call it. Intelligence is intellectual dishonesty. But once the cat's out of the bag, it's impossible to put it back. Fact check this, fact check that. Like the sustainable development. We just got to call it sus development for now and just pass it on. It's sus development for short. Sus, short for sustainable, right? No, suspect. It's very suspect, that development they're doing. I can't say that I'm impressed or that I think it's really sustainable. I wouldn't call it progress. I would call it, well, I'd call it cold-hearted murder. Cold-hearted murder and worse. It took 15 minutes for the town to burn down. 15 minutes to clear the fuck out, and then 15 minutes to put up a fence around it. And now the feds and the FBI, they're all along for the ride. Gotta make sure that no one gets inside. Oh, 15 minutes, boy, it ain't pretty getting down to the nitty gritty, making way for a 15-minute city. Don't relax sucking off the nipple of a phony titty. No sustenance, just suspect, so suspect, sustainable development. It took 15 minutes for the town to burn down. 15 minutes then to get the fuck down. 15 minutes, put up a fence around it. Now the feds and the FBI, they're all along for the ride. Got to make sure that no one gets inside. It's 15 minutes, boy, it ain't pretty. Getting down to the nitty gritty, making way for a 15-minute city. It was a direct hit. No one saw it coming, except for those who did it. You know, it had nothing to do with climate change. That's insane to even say something that lame. It was a directed energy weapon, laser beam. The way it seems to see the metal melt and the trees don't burn unless it burns from the inside out. That's completely the opposite way that the fire used to behave. It took 15 minutes for me to figure this out. Sustainable development. Still kind of a work in progress. Suspect. Yes. Have a pretty clear sky. I think weather reporters should just report it like that. It's like, it's a beautiful blue sky today, not a chemtrail in the sky. Or like, we have beautiful skies today with a chance of tic-tac-toe. You know, just like get a sense of humor about it at least. You know, we got to start talking about this shit, people. I mean, just to say that it doesn't happen is just talk about having your head up your ass. I mean, like literally, how do you not see it? Like for instance, right now, there's not really any chemtrails in the sky. I can see a couple of wispy clouds that look suspect that I would put my money on isn't natural. But that's just me. It's because I study the sky. Study as in I look at it and I don't let people tell me what's going on. I just try to observe for myself and just figure it out. That way I don't get lied to, you know? I mean, I do look at what people say and listen, you know, and I do research, and the research shows me that here's what you got to do. You got to type in geoengineering and Google the purveyor of truth. And what they'll tell you is that geoengineering is being done in most countries of the world. You probably see your country on there on the list. The next question it offers you is, what is geoengineering? So you tap on that, you're 2 taps in, all right? And then it tells you it's mostly done by cloud seeding, which entails planes spraying shit in the atmosphere, okay? In so many words. 2 taps in, and you learn that the whole myth about chemtrails being contrails is a con. That whole shit is gone. You typed in the wrong word. You don't type in chemtrails, you type in geoengineering. Okay, that's what they call it. That's what you got to call it too. And now, like I said, Google is obviously the purveyor of truth. I mean, they tell you a man can get pregnant and the earth is a globe and shit. But here's the thing. If what you're observing matches the thing they say, well, then you're a little bit closer to the truth, aren't you? Now, if you know for a fact that a man can't get pregnant, well, then you know that what they meant to say was a woman pretending to be a man can get pregnant. But they misled you deliberately. It's pretty easy to figure this shit out. I mean, like contrails, no, I didn't know they would linger in the sky for 8 hours and spread out until there's like a fucking thick web of it like floating above our heads. I don't think that's what a contrail, that doesn't seem like condensation to me. That's what you should say when you say that, when it says, no, those are contrails. Well, I don't think so. That's not condensation because it doesn't go away and it kind of like spreads out all weird and fucking starts kind of dripping down. It's got some weight to it. And then when you look it up, you know, they're actually spraying metal particulates in the sky. So that kind of match, because sometimes it looks kind of rainbowish, you know? All you got to do is look at it and think. I mean, people that think they're not spraying the sky are just fucking retarded. That's basically all there is. It's like, well, you're so surface level, you haven't even gone 2 taps in. Man, that's just sad. I mean, it's pathetic is what it is. You shouldn't even open your mouth. You know, if you think they're not spraying the sky, just shut up. Why don't you just fucking shut up and just look, maybe? Don't talk about something you haven't looked at, because that's pretty dumb. Especially if you're going to come across all like fucking condescending, you know. You're just a piece of shit, basically, at that point. You deserve to get bitch slapped. And there's people like that everywhere. It's fucking, you know what I mean? I just want to be like, wake the fuck up! But it's useless. What's the point? What's the fucking point? They'll wake up when they feel like it, if they ever do. It's just sad. I'm sorry my guitar sounds like such a joke. I'm just broke. And no, I'm not begging for money. Fuck you. I'm lazy too. Just kidding. I like working. I do have money. I can go buy some guitars. I haven't found it in myself to go do it. So sorry. I should probably do that though, right today. Today's the day. I live in the mountains, so it's kind of a hassle. That's my excuse. Or that's my reason. It's not an excuse. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, never mind. I won't go to town. I'm just kidding. Did you ever wake up to the sound of your textbook hitting the floor, realizing you've fallen asleep in class again, 'cause it was such a bore? I've been there before myself. I recall wishing that I could just take flight every time I didn't get the answer right. you finally open up your sleeping eyes to see the world as it really is, and coming around ain't treating you very kindly at all. You get ostracized, censored, canceled into oblivion. Yeah, I speak from experience. Yes, and the people running this shit show, you know they think they got us now. The people running the shit show, you know they think they really got us now. Yeah, 'cause this is the big dumb town. I think that we're so dumb now that we need to be led like sheep so we can wash our hands and go to sleep. Yeah, this is the big dumb town. We're so fucking dumb now. If we need to be told how to control our behavior, where were you when 2022 came to a close? Were you like me, close to losing your mind after all the propaganda been put on overdrive? Thank God above that you and I both survived, not by luck but by our wit, clever, cunning understanding of what's really going on. You can think what you wanna think, and you can believe what you want to believe. Yeah, but we're in the big dumb town. They think we're so dumb now that we need to be led like sheep. Wash our hands and go to sleep. Yeah, this is the big dumb town. We're so fucking dumb now. If we need to be told how to control our behavior, yeah, this is the big dumb town. We're so dumb now. If we need to be led like sheep so we can wash our hands and go to sleep. Yeah, it's the big dumb town. We're so fucking dumb now. We need to be told where we strayed from. Once upon a time, a long time ago. Once upon a bent space and time. I like that. Once upon a bendy space and time, we can curve in a straight line. Put a dumb idea in your mind and believe it's true. Then people call, say it's not true at all. Earth is flat, it ain't a ball. You thought they all were kidding you. And you used to laugh about all the flat earthers that were figuring it all out. Now you don't laugh so loud. Now you don't seem so proud to defend this shit that obviously isn't real. Whoa, how does it feel? Yeah, how does it feel to find out you're home? It's safe here under the dome, and it's a stationary stone. Well, you went to the same schools we all did. That's cool, but you know they never really taught you anything true. And no one ever really taught you how to go out and prove anything. You just to yourself, is this real? How does it feel? How does it feel to find your home? It's safe here under God's word. It's a stationary stone. Well, you never turned around to see the frowns on the Neil deGrasse clowns when they played their tricks on you. And you never understood it really ain't no good. You shouldn't let other people tell you what the fuck is true. You used to be so amused at the NASA moon landings and all the cool gadgets they use. But take a look at it now. It's pretty sad. Did you know that it's really nothing that could possibly be real? Oh, and how does it feel? Yeah, how does it feel to find out your home is a place you can't go away from? Can't go to space, no, that's all a fairy tale. Was safe here under the dome, and it's a stationary stone. It's not a stone that rolls. Yo, Papa was a rolling snowball. Cold day, he's out there rolling still, rolling down this here hill. Papa was a rolling snowball. You know, the further he rolled, the bigger he got, until he got so big that he could not stop rolling. Papa was a rolling snowball. You know, I'm a snowball too, just rolling after you all the way down this here hill. Yo, Papa bust through the front door, proceeded to melt into a puddle on the floor. And then Mama came in and mopped his ass up. Papa was a rolling snowball. Roll on. Roll on. I don't know. I think the song goes on for a while, and it's like we both roll all the way down the hill, and we're just sitting there. You know, and then some kid comes along and makes a snowman out of us with some twig arms, you know, twig hands, and a carrot for a nose, raisins for eyes. And this kid comes back with his daddy's bottle of booze that he stole, and he sticks it in our claw twig hand. Daddy was a rolling snowball, but now he's just part of a drunk snowman. I just didn't want to walk you through the whole thing. It's like, it takes a while. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of a waste of time. One of those songs that's just kind of like sort of a middle of the road song. It gets along good with other songs. You know, you can bring it places. Bring it to parties. You know, it's cool. Papa was a rolling stone. Oh, wherever he laid his head was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. I don't know how to play that one. I was just pretending I do. I know how to play House of the Rising Sun. There is a house in New Orleans. They they call the rising sun. No, see. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. And it's been the ruin of many poor boys. And Lord, I know I'm one. I'm one. And my mother was a tailor. She sold these new blue jeans. And my father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. New Orleans. New What's the word? Well, the only thing in gambling is the gaze in the trunk. And the only time it's satisfied is when people ain't drunk. Only drunk. Only drunk. I got one foot on the platform, one foot on the train. Back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. Well, ball and chain. Mother, tell your children not to do what I've done. I'm going back to New Orleans to join the rising sun. Rising sun, rising sun. And the only thing gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. He's only drunk, only drunk, only drunk. I got one foot on the platform, one foot on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans, where that ball and chain, that ball and chain, that ball and chain. Mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. I'm going back to New Orleans to join the rising sun, the rising sun, rising sun, rising sun, rising sun. Well, there is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many poor boys, and Lord, I know I'm one. I know I'm one. I'm one. I'm one. I'm one. I'm one. You know, it's like you're never going to be able to play it better than the Animals, so you just sort of do it your own way. And hopefully nobody will ever be able to do it better than that. Yeah, 'cause you're just an animal. Just an animal. No, but really, who are you, man? Look at you, man. Who are you, man? Just another human, just a hue of a man, just a shade shy from a real guy. The shadow of a man that you used to be before you became so damn shady. Who are you, man? Just just another hue of a man. Just a shade shy from a real guy. The shadow of a man that you used to be before you became so damn shady. Look at you, man, just another stupid human being, stupid human being, stupid. Just another stupid human being, stupid human being, stupid. Look at you, man, who are you, man? Who are you, man? Just another human? Just a hue of a man. Look at you, man, just a shade shy of a real guy. Another stupid human being, stupid human being, stupid human being, stupid human being, stupid human being stupid. Who are you, man? Who are you, man? Do you even know? Hey! As you impart with a partial smile, disperse into your world of denial, like the head-on collision. A head-on collision, colliding in the wake of your decision. There's a head-on collision. Oh! Spyglass specs can view a far-off train wreck before they met in a head-on collision. Head-on collision. X-ray vision, high definition, limited edition, cover rendition that's never gonna get listened to. Do the mathematics and you'll choke and cough up a kaleidoscope. What? Living in a lie. Living in a lie. Living in this lie's getting more ridiculous. I said living in this lie gets more ridiculous as time goes by. More ridiculous as time goes by. But being made of money doesn't make you anybody special. Being made of money doesn't make you anybody fucking special. Makes you a lot of phony friends, and in the end, you're just a free flow freak show that can't go forever on the down low. Can't go forever on the down low. It's a free flow freak show. Getting beat up from the feature that induced an epileptic seizure. Walking through the room looking like a foreign creature. You're just reading books, past the face and discard the rest of the mess. Spyglass specs can view a far-off train wreck before they met in a head-on collision. And for living in this night gets more ridiculous as time goes by. Ridiculous as time goes by, but we're living in a big fucking lie. Big fucking lie. Being made of money doesn't make you anybody special. Being made of money doesn't make you anybody fucking special. Makes you a lot of phony friends, and in the end, you're just a free flow freak show that can't go forever on the down or low. No. It seems kind of hard to believe that we would make it 2,500 years with a fucking belief throughout the majority of society that we live on a big ball that's spinning and rotating and traveling through space, this vacuum, this idea. It's pretty hard to believe that we made it that many years without actually thinking about what that necessitates. For starters, there's never been one time ever since man has ever fucking existed where we had to worry about the motion of the earth or the curvature of the earth. That's never been a concern, never will be, never has been. It's never been anything that anybody has to worry about. So to say that it is for some reason is just a lie. And the globe model that supposedly makes all these brilliant predictions is basically predicting things that were, the most reliable patterns ever known to man. That's why we designed our clocks and calendars off of it. Because it's the most precision way of keeping time known to man. You're going to tell me you're predicting a clock? Well, that's awfully deceptive. Thanks for thanks for making it obvious that you're trying to deceive me. Okay, well, what else we got? Well, let's just go through everything they got. It's all bullshit. Look at their space presentation. Are you kidding me? Take the picture of the limb. Are you kidding me? You must be kidding me if you think that's real. I mean, that's like, don't start gaslighting me, man. That shit's fucking bogus. They said that thing went like 4 or 5,000 miles per hour. That fucking piece of shit with the construction paper all peeling back and tinfoil all loosely wrapped, taped with like tape. It went 5,000 miles per hour. Fuck you. You know what kind of thrusters that thing supposedly had? That thing is, dude. Are you? I mean, come on. Just level with me. Just fucking get real. For fuck's sake. It doesn't. I mean, it's really one of those things where you look at it and you shouldn't have to even discuss it after that. You know, you should just be like, oh, that's what they said landed on the moon. Okay, well, looks like there's some kind of serious implications about that because it's obviously bullshit. And so if they're lying about that, well, that's pretty epic. You know, that's pretty hardcore, man. Why in the fuck? What's going on? You know, what the fuck is going on? Well, the government. What government? What does that word mean? Well, it means the government. You know, like to control mind. Oh, so that's why they faked the moon landing because they're trying to conduct a mind control operation. It's funny how everything you know you look into on the heliocentric side of things, you end up with some kind of mind control, trying to deceive me and tell me that things are being predicted when it's a fucking clock. Clocks don't make predictions. No, they're designed to go a certain way, and that's it. And once you learn that, you learn it. You don't need to predict shit. You predict that your fucking dumb batteries are going to wear out. That's about it. And then, so that's a deceitful situation we got going on there. And so why in the fuck is that? Why would they be going through the trouble to deceive people? Well, because the word government means mind control. Well, no, I mean, we're trying to govern how can you how do you weasel your way out of that one? I mean, it's like, where did that word come from? Government, to control mind. I mean, because I thought we put our government, I don't know why we would even call it that, but we put the people that are supposed to be there, to represent the people and to be our servants. Not that it's that anymore, but I'm just saying, it's like, I thought the government was supposed to be like something that we were like operating, that we had some sort of say over. But like when you think of it, mind control, like, do we really want to have, take part in that? I would rather just say, let's not have any mind control. How about that? Let's just like use our minds to like solve problems and like work together and, try to cut the bullshit out, We'll get a lot further that way. I mean, there's evidence that there were societies here before that certainly got a lot further than we are now. They built shit to last, for one thing. And I think they had a pretty better, like a way better understanding of how this place works, So it's not like today's science is like the most cutting edge thing. It was like, there's never been anyone that was smarter than us. The people in the past are just archaic idiots, It's like, no, dude, they were more smart than us, actually, from what the looks of it. And I don't, maybe they believed Earth was a globe, but they didn't. There's no evidence of them like having any interest in leaving Earth, really, other than flying above it in their massive luxury airships. You go anywhere you want with ease, and it'd be like staying in a hotel, versus like cramming yourself in a plane and people throwing up and fucking crammed in this little uncomfortable spot. Now planes are breaking all the time. Every day there's a news story about a plane almost crashing or breaking or losing its landing gear. It's like, dude, we're all washed up, man. We're not cutting edge for nothing. Maybe there's some AI that's like, like it's gonna take over the world. I mean, if that happens, it's just because fucking people just got so fucking dumb. They're just so lazy. They didn't want to they didn't have a thirst for the truth. They just made fun of people that were trying to like figure things out, and they just pointed fingers and were like, oh, you guys are dumb. Didn't even bother like listening. It's like, it's almost as though the flat earth litmus test is sort of like just, you know, it's functioning as like a personality test as well. You know, it's like it's not only just like can you think and use your mind independently of all the fucking all the you know all the sensory overload that you've been hammered with your whole life. Can you just shed that for a second and use your own mind and think about what the fuck, where the fuck you are? Because if you can't do that, well, then you're sure as fuck like somebody's tool. You know, like I can do that. I sat and thought about it. I'm like, you know, the ground under my feet isn't moving, man. It's never moved. And the times that I thought it was, or that it was not good. It was not good. Like I've been in some serious earthquakes, and I've been fucking hammered off my ass a lot of times before in the past. I don't do that anymore, but like I would be so drunk, and the ground, I would wish the ground would stop moving. It was just one of those things. Please, God, make this stop. Make it stop. So when it wore off, even though I was hungover and shit, I was glad that the ground is fucking stable, stationary. And I know what it would feel like, and it fucking sucks. So I'm not going to advocate for that. If it turns out to be true, well, good thing it doesn't feel like it's moving, because that would suck. But it's just interesting how they've designed their deceptive model in just a way to where it can look like a stationary level plane, while simultaneously being a huge ball in motion. Well, nobody's upside down, and all that simple shit that you think about when you first learn about it. You're like, oh, nobody's upside down. So it's like it's moving under us the whole time we walk. It's just sort of like this cool like illusion. What the fuck? Give me a break, dude. And it's like every little excuse they come up with. Oh, well, the reason you don't feel the movement is because it's like you're on a train and it's just like a steady speed. But I'm sorry, but making a constant left turn isn't like a, isn't like a, a linear sort of thing. Right? Am I wrong? I mean, how are you going to? Oh, well, because the sun's turning in just a way to where it's like we're actually moving in a straight line while orbiting. Come on, just give up. Like even Einstein fucking wasn't convinced. He's like, oh, I've come to think that there's no way to really prove any of this shit from the fucking vantage point of the ground. You could prove it if you could leave Earth and look back at it, But since we can't do that, I've come to the conclusion that we can't prove it. And he's the guy that crunched all the numbers, had chalkboards full of equations and all this fancy math, fancy talk, fancy pants, fucking science bullshit. Because it didn't amount to nothing. He couldn't convince himself that it was even true. But he's operating within their paradigm, and he's like this famous guy. You know what I mean? He's like, whether or not he even felt this way, he did say, well, although we do know it's true, we just can't prove it. He probably just didn't want to lose the paycheck or whatever. Give me a break. You think you can't buy science? Talk about surface level fucking numbskull. Hello? You ever heard of pancaking or opposition surge? Those are scientific terms, You know those terms? You should learn them. Pancaking is when a building collapses in perfect free fall because of an office fire. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting phenomenon. It's only happened a few times. And I'm talking like a 110-story building falls faster than you could clap your hands a dozen times. Because of pancaking, it's this new scientific, phenomenon. It's a term that we use when that happens. Oh, an opposition surge. Don't forget about that one. That's why pictures look weird when you take pictures on the moon. But it's a phenomenon that only happens when you're photographing things on the moon. So that's why pictures look kind of funky and weird. Yeah, that's science for you right there. I'm just giving you a little taste of, oh, maybe they can just sort of pay for their science to be a certain way. Because those two things were obviously proven fake throughout this conversation. No, it's just understood. That's fake. A building doesn't fall in free fall due to a fire. Anybody that believes that is, well, I mean, just get back to me after you thought about that one. Because, I mean, there's no point in talking to somebody that believes that. Like, I used to have this friend that believed that shit. And he was like, I was like, what do you think happened on 9/11? Because we're getting into the conversation about conspiracy. We've been friends for a while, but we never went there, And he's all, well, pretty much what they said happened. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Well, we got attacked by, okay, whatever, some terrorist organization. I'm like, well, I'm not going to debate that part, but I'm just saying, like, as far as what happened with because, I mean, I don't know who did it, but I mean, it was obviously a terrorist, whether it be our own fucking terrorists or somebody else. I mean, that's not even really That's not the question, is whether or not there was terror created. Duh. But like, just as far as how those buildings fell, I mean, are you fucking retarded? Look at Judy Wood's work. She'll show you that metal fucking turns to dust. And it's like, I'm pretty sure those videos weren't faked that she was showing, but I haven't researched that aspect of it. So she could have faked that, I guess. It looked pretty much like the footage. You know, I think I saw her go so far as to prove that she wasn't faking that footage. In any case, like if you haven't seen that, I mean, you need to do more research, because that shit, she was showing a piece of metal that was still standing there after the building collapsed, and she's all, watch this thing, you know, it's like, watch, she zooms in on it, watch this piece of metal, it's sturgeon standing there stiff still, you know, after the building fell, and then it turns to dust and falls just like dust in the wind. She's all, that's a pretty fancy trick. I'm like, damn, is it? That's fucking wild. That's why you see blue sky after this building falls. You know, it's just it's like 2 seconds later, this blue sky. Before there was a huge building with all, you know, I'm talking like 110-story building with all the offices, all the floors. That's a lot of stuff, right? It falls, there's just blue sky seconds later because of a fire. That's some fire, I tell you. Melted cars at the bottom of it. I mean, doesn't it, like, the people that are normies, do they just, I mean, they're just swimming in cognitive dissonance. It must be so difficult. I guess I used to be one of those people. Oh my God. I never believed the 9/11 thing, though. That was, I mean, I guess I really became a truther when that happened, because I was like, that wasn't, I was never able to just like swallow that, you know, I was just like, no way. And then when fucking Loose Change came out, I saw that, it was like 2004 or 5 or something. And that's when I realized, I was like, okay, well, it's definitely, I was right. You know, whether or not, I mean, you come to find later, there wasn't even any planes. Oh, but they found a landing gear at the big old wheel sitting there in the passport. The buildings fell mostly due to structural, because the structural integrity. It's like some dude just, and then the buildings collapsed mostly due to their structural integrity being weakened. I was like, whoa, you really studied this hard. It just happened. What a show. What a fucking sham. What a shit show. It's a damn shame. Pass the damn champagne. It's not us to blame. Fuck that shit. I don't want to get drunk. Make the world spin. I like my stable, stationary earth. See, if we're just left to our own wits, like, people have to just get real. You can't prove the earth is a ball spinning. Come on, shut up. You have to leave earth to prove that, for real. And the people that left and supposedly saw, well, they haven't found it in their time to like join this conversation. It's been 9 years. There's famous people saying the earth is flat now. And the people that have left earth that absolutely know what earth is, for a fact, apparently, well, they just haven't found the time to get in this conversation yet. And now there's millions of us. There's people on the world stage calling them out, even. Because when you say the earth is flat on the world stage, you're calling all astronauts liars and all space agencies liars. You should have just said that. All space agencies and astronauts are liars. Because that's what you're saying. And nobody's stood up to fucking say, hey, wait a minute. No, they're not. They haven't even come to the conversation. They haven't even fucking said it. Just like, oh, nothing to see here. Well, when we're in space, sometimes there's like, I don't know about bubbles, but there's like flecks of paint that fly off the side of it's a real harsh environment. So what about the water swishing around when when you listen to the spacewalks? Rodrigo pointed this out, but it was like they're going back and forth with the ground team, you know, on the spacewalk, you know, and he's all, listen, every time the astronaut talks, you can hear water swishing in the background. Sure enough. It's like, dude, they didn't even fucking think that through. You know, it's such a fucking cheaply fucking, it's just so poorly done. There's so many mistakes. I mean, they actually had a guy communicating in a pool. Why didn't they, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? I mean, I think maybe they're just, there's no way. I mean, I can't even, there's no way to explain it that one away. You know what I mean? Why in the fuck would they do that? They actually have a person in the pool talking to the ground team. You know what I mean? And then you hear the water swishing around. Like, what? What's going on? it's almost like they're fucking gaslighting us or something, you know, trying to fuck with us. Because it was definitely audible. You could hear the water swishing around. And why would they do it like that? You know what I mean? It's like, why would they have like why would they no they don't have anyone to think that one through for them, you know, and why would they even bother doing it like that? They should just record all the conversations, you know, without any other distractions, you know. I mean, you can hear water swishing around. It's like, what is going on, man? What is going on? And you can't ask them questions like that. They'll never answer you. They only interview people that interview NASA are like third graders. You don't get much, and they give the third graders the questions to ask. You know, can you do a somersault? And they do a backflip. You know, they don't even like. They're never like honest. You know what I mean? They're just hoaxers. They're hoaxers. The dude on the harness in the background. I mean, everybody that watches the show is a flat earther already, but like all you dumb globers that come and find us, how do you guys find us? I started off this channel with 0 subs. I call it the Heliocentric Model Debate Channel. It was a while ago, like maybe like 7 months ago. So my ears are popping, sorry. And I was like, I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna start a channel as a nobody with no subs. I'm gonna put up some, you know, flat Earth videos with flat Earth in the title, and you know, and hashtag flat Earth this that. And, you know, I'm it's like fishing for globers. So I was like, because I got no attention, you know, and we're shadow banned. You guys know that. Like if you go look up flat Earth content on YouTube, they give you Professor Dave, and you know what I mean. It's like you can't find any of us. You're not going to see me on a search. You might even type in Dr. Bass Ackwards flat Earth. You might find me, but like still, you're not going to find. They shadow ban us. They don't want people to watch us because we're telling the truth. But it's like, so these globers, all these guys like Poopy Town Cat, fucking Ed Hayes, this guy who was called like Adrenochrome or something. He changed his name to Delta recently. Delta something or other. And there's other ones though too. I'm like John Q Public, M-Ball, you know, and then there's like the guys like, you know, C3P or not C, FTFE or whatever. And like, you know, those guys that have channels and followings and shit. But it's like, but those guys, the Glober trolls that find you in your videos and or that come in the chats occasionally and talk a bunch of shit, you know, I don't even know if they're real people, but like, it could just be like a you know, an algorithm thing where it's like, but because it's like, how the fuck are they finding? Because they found my channel with 0 subs, 0 fucking, nobody knew who I was, and you know, and it's like, so I put up a couple flat Earth videos, and immediately, I'm talking like immediately, I put it up. I hadn't even gone and watched the video yet. You know, like when you put up a video, you usually go and watch it and make sure it looks cool. You know, I hadn't even had a chance to do that yet. I went and did something. I came back, and these guys had already left comments in my videos. I'm like, wait, what? And it was all the same guys that I recognized, you know. But it's like, I didn't give them a fucking link, and like, how the fuck do they find that? Because it's like people look up, you know what I mean? It's like you can't find that in a search. A channel with 0 subs, 0 views, 0 everything. And a nobody, like that doesn't add up, man. How did they find that? Well, it's because they have like a database somewhere where they're like fucking, they're instantly notified, and it might not even be a real person. Like I think there's a strong chance that it's just like an algorithm that spits back. Because it's like if you get like a comment that's like something that's not non-specific, you know, it's like pure nonsense, just more hogwash or something, you know. But they don't specify what they're talking about, and you can't really get a conversation out of them. They're just kind of you know, the same fucking blah 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 flurf. And it's like you can't really engage with them. They're just negative, or like, you know, say that's a bot for sure. I mean, for sure. I think there's some real people too. I don't know what's prompting them. I don't know why you'd want to be such a weirdo like that. But they're definitely they have special access is my point. You know, and so it's like we're like fighting an uphill battle. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of shit being thrown at us. You know, and why is that? Why exactly is that? I thought we were just some stupid flurf. You know, like what? Why is there an effort being made? Why do people have special access to videos that nobody else would be able to find? You know, you could search all day and you would have never found this channel. Guaranteed. Because I had 0 subs. I just started it. They were there seconds later. I shit you not. I should have videotaped the whole thing. But it's like, I mean, for me, that was just evidence that they're probably not even real people. Because I mean, like that's pretty, like, all these, and there was several people, you know what I mean? It's like, or whatever, several accounts, you know what I'm saying? So, I think it's a healthy thing to be able to, when you like argue with these people, if they're actually, acknowledging what you're saying and you get in a conversation with them, I think there's a high chance it's a real person. And I've had those, actually there's some people that I'm pretty positive, I'm like almost 100% positive they're real people because of the conversation we had. We went back and forth, and it became kind of fun, where it's like we're having a conversation and we're both being cool to each other and we're just like going back and forth, back and forth. I could get into the details, but it was fun. I had a good, and he was even clever with some stuff. Some of his replies, I was like, "Whoa, I hadn't thought about that." But then I came back with something that beat it. It's like we're playing a game of wits, and it was fun. It's good. It's good training. It's good exercise to do. And so I think there's some genuine people out there that maybe are prompted to come and argue with us and never concede to anything. But I don't know. They might just be genuinely, fooled, because nobody could really fucking know. All right, unless you left, you don't know. That's just a fact. You got to acknowledge that at least. At least give me that, please. And then just give me this too, that it's strange how the people that do know aren't the ones debating us. Don't you find that to be strange? Just more strange shit. Is it just a coincidence? Coincidence is short for cognitive dissonance. Next time you say it's a coincidence, make sure you're not experiencing cognitive dissonance, because it's two different things actually, but I think maybe we could just adjust the definition of that word now. Coincidence theorists and shit, 16 alpha valve, you need a range, buddy. What's that? I never know how to pronounce it. 16 alpha. I love it though. So random and cool. Or maybe it's not random. I just don't know what it is, but it's cool. 16 alpha. What does that mean? I like that. I like it. It's cool. It's random and kind of trippy. I just like it. I've seen you around forever too. You've been in it for a minute, man. In it for a minute. I admit it. I did it too. I fell for the ruse. Not anymore. Once you figure out the big ruse, all the other little ruses just fall to the wayside. And of course they're going to call flat earthers stupid. Hello? Have you not ever thought past the surface level narrative? Are you just that dense? You know what I mean? Like, of course we're going to be called stupid. Hello? It's a hoax. You got to defend the lie. You know what I mean? Otherwise, well, shit. Everybody would have figured it out by now. I mean, the space agencies had a chance to prove that shit. You know what I mean? But they fucked that all up. There's so much fraud that I've seen that I can't take any of it seriously, and pretty much nobody should, because we pointed it out to the world. You can explain some of them away, maybe. I've seen, Simon Dan and those clowns explain some of them away, and where it's like, okay, fine, let's just throw that one out. But there's all these other ones you haven't touched yet. So yeah. I mean, the chick with the fucking hairspray, she's all, look. She's got like a fro, it's all spiked, Look at my hair. And then they turn upside down and her hair just stays like static the whole time. It's like, no, that's just an ugly hairdo, bitch. Why did you make us look at that? Now you just gave up your whole fucking dumb shit, It's like low G hairdos in a hairspray can. That's what NASA pretty much invented. I mean, they've like spent how many years on the fucking ISS, doing science every day, and fucking, yet we never really hear of any any actual anything of actual importance coming from that. We never really hear of any achievement or I mean, am I missing something? Isn't that suspect? It's like we get little interviews with them, and it's like, where they make contact with the earth and their arms are all free, they're all standing, they're all awkward with their shirts tucked in, all weird and all clean cut, shaven, all smiling ear to ear, all totally unnatural. And it's like they teach us about the bathroom or something, or they talk about they show a bubble of water or something. I mean, that's all you got to say for yourself or shows. I mean, it's like they do a somersault. I mean, come on. You think that's impressive, or that's worthy of the amount of money that there's, or whatever? It's a hoax. I mean, they're not really even doing it. Yeah, they have something that flies around there on schedule. I can't explain that. You're right. but you can't prove that that what we've been shown on TV is when they're doing their little ISS communications. You can't prove that that's being filmed from up there on that thing. You do realize that, right? I mean, you can't prove that thing that you see going by up there has those videos are being made on that thing. You can't prove that. You know that, right? I mean, you know that that's impossible to prove, right? It's kind of important that you have to just really like level with me, and just be like, okay, you're right. I can't really prove that because it's just a thing going by. It might even be the same shape and everything, but like you can't prove that there's people on it and that they're doing and everything they say about it is all honest on the up and up. I think Neil deGrasse Tyson even went so far as to say they wouldn't even see the curve from the ISS. Somebody said that. I want to see that clip. I haven't seen that yet myself, so I don't really want to, start saying that I think that's what he said. But like, if that's true, maybe somebody should find a link to that because that's crazy. Because that's just like, you know what I mean? Like, what? So all their videos that they've shown us are just those are all hoaxes. I mean, if he said that, that's something that's that's relevant that needs to be brought to everyone's attention. Because he's always, oh no, you wouldn't see it from that elevation. After they get up there and they show us the curve and stuff, and it's like, oh, actually, and well, no. It's like, well, wait a minute, are you trying to hoax us or not? That shit's flat. I know. That's my argument. I broke a string, if you didn't notice. I'm gonna get out of the sun. I'm kind of sunburnt. Sunburnt. Liv, what's good, brother? Go down here in the shade. So here's the thing I've been tripping on. It's like I think about the actual geometry of living on a sphere, what that necessitates, and with that, like I come to this sort of quandary or whatever, this sort of conundrum where I'm like, excuse me, where I'm like, okay, so if the equator is a circle, like I heard Aaron, I think, saying yesterday that the equator is maybe supposed to be a straight line, like it's the one line that's straight, and I want to look more into that, but like that doesn't. I don't know if that makes sense on either model, but do you guys know? Is the equator supposed to be straight? Like, I mean, I guess it would have to be when you flatten out the globe, and you know what I mean. It would have to be the one that's straight because it has to start going the other way. But the thing is, like, if you were to take the meridian of a ball and measure out the equator, it's obviously a fucking circle, right? Am I wrong? Oh yeah, Justina, I'll finish the story. Yeah, for sure. But like, so if that's the case, if it's a circle, it's a 24,000 mile circumference, right? I mean, I guess it's just that I'm a flat earther, so that's why I think about this shit, because it's like, if it's a 24,000 mile circumference and it's a circle, which it should be, that's what I think of ball, it's a circle, right? And so what's inside that circumference? Like, we draw a circle, you're going to have like an area within the circle. That's what makes it a circle, right? There's an area within it. And it's like, you can figure out how much space that is based on, pi and all this kind of crap, diameter, radius, and all that shit, So what is it that's inside that circle? Well, the 24,000 mile circumference circle. What is that circle? Does anybody know? I guess technically the whole world, right? Which is from halfway across it. It's like it's not going to be a circle going both ways. When you start thinking about how fucking crazy this is, like my concentric circle lottery, it's like kid wins the lottery. It's a rabbit. He comes out of the ground, out of this rabbit hole. He draws a circle. You won the concentric circle lottery. He draws a circle around his rabbit hole. He's like, this is your property right here. And after and that'll do this. You could just keep this one circle or whatever. It's your This is your circle. You do what you want, but you can't go back. You can't come back to this rabbit hole. You got to move outward. Outward is the key word here. Through, and you make another one. And the thing is, you can't step out of the circle and go like 50 miles that way and then draw another one. You have to just step out and draw another one, just one step. So it's a long process, right? So the kid's like, acquiring property, and it gets, it gets into, and I go into detail just to, where it's like people are having to give up their deed to their house or their gas station or whatever, it's circling, acquiring countries. The government has to forfeit, control over to this kid. And, oceans, he's just acquiring massive, it's just bigger and bigger, more and more stuff, and he just becomes like an old man, and like, maybe halfway through the book, he's like a middle-aged man, and his team gets back to him and is like, well, we just made the new circle, but so what is the rule again? You only own what's inside the circle, right? Yeah. Okay, well, this circle is around a whole different area, and I don't think you own all that stuff that you thought you own right now. And like that's what'll happen. All his deeds will just vanish, and he'll be like, what? He'll lose everything he owns, and then his team's like, you just lost everything you own, but you have a new circle somewhere else. And it's a little bit smaller, which is weird, but it's still huge. And so he's like, what the fuck? He has to move his whole operation to some other location. And then his team gets back to him every year, like, you just lost all this, all lost, no gain. He's like, what? I've been gaining my whole life. How am I losing now? And he just, like, he goes crazy, it doesn't make any sense. He fires all his people. He goes out, starts making the circles himself, and they keep getting smaller. And eventually he's just down to this one little circle, with nothing. This is a destitute fucking fool in some other part of the world, And then up comes a rabbit, like, hey, man, I don't know what the fuck happened. He's like, oh, well, your lesson is you live on a globe. And that's the end, And then it's like, kids have to take that next step and be like, that doesn't make any sense. I think it's kind of cool. I think that's a good idea. I think it would fool the adults that have effectively lost control of their minds. And they just see buzzwords and like, oh, it's a book that teaches kids about globes and greed and stuff. And it's like, it's a great educational, make every kid in the world read this book, and every kid in the world is like becomes a flat earther overnight. Think about it, right? I mean, we went 2,500 years without fucking having that thought that I just had right there. How long did that take? It was like 2 minutes, 5 minutes maybe, for me to go through that whole story about the concentric circles and rabbit. Were you guys listening? So it's like, nobody ever thought that through? Are you fucking for real? Because that's ridiculous, right? Isn't it? Am I tripping? I mean, am I tripping? Am I forgetting something? Or is there something I'm not doing right? What are you doing listening to me? That's the thing. It's like, once you figure this shit out, you're like, just, you want to tell everybody, but if people are just like, yeah. 2,500 fucking years and nobody sat and thought what I just thought? Wow, I feel special. Is that why we're flat earthers? We want to feel special? That's what they say. Maybe it's true. I like feeling special. It's so special. It feels great. I feel so special when people call me a retard. It's so good. So good. I like the abuse. Give me more abuse. I like it rough. Thanks. Fantastic. And it helps me size you up too. Because you can rest assured that I also think you're retarded. It goes both ways, kind of like the internet, kind of like smart gadgets. Smart, so smart. Surveillance, monitoring, analysis, reporting technology is so smart. It has access to you. Yay, that's great, huh? All right, I'll finish my story. So I'll tell the whole story briefly. We were weeks hike out from Yosemite, and we're at this place called Paiute Mountain, and we'd planned to take mushrooms that night because it was going to be a full moon. And so we got really fucking high, me and two other friends of mine. And we're like, we're way out there. Like, it took a week to hike there, you know what I mean? It's like, we're way the fuck out there in the mountains. And it's just like Yosemite, just beautiful granite, and lakes and all this cool shit, but there's nobody there, which is even cooler. And it's clean, And it's like, so we found this little lake below Paiute Mountain, and we hike up about a few hundred yards up and found a little level plateau and made a campfire and set up our camp there. Ate dinner and then went up and climbed on this rock that was right up there on the top of this little ridge where we were camping, and we had a view of this fucking massive canyon with the sunset, all these colors, and it was like we're tripping balls. It was fucking fun. Had a great trip. I was just like seeing so much stuff. It was just like, I don't want to get into all the stuff I was seeing. But at one point the cloud went like this. It was like an image of a person doing that. I was like, whoa, I think I'm gonna go walk around. It was that hallucinatory. Like, I was seeing things that animated, but I wasn't like seeing goblins run around or nothing. It was just like I was seeing the real life, but it was taking shape in different forms. I don't know how to explain it. Anyways, as we were walking, we had to get back down before it got totally dark, because we were up on top of that mountain. It was towards the end of the day, watching the sunset. And on the way back down, we found this wall of crystals. It was fucking crazy. I thought I was hallucinating at first. I'm like, what? Is that what I think it is? Like these big ass quartz, like fucking the size of my head, just fucking massive quartz. Just, I have hundreds of them and just massive. I'm like, what the fuck? That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I love crystals, and just to see it growing like that in the wild is like, wow, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm coming up here tomorrow to make sure I wasn't hallucinating, And sure enough, it was there. I brought some little pieces, and we were way the fuck out there. I couldn't bring the big ones; they were too heavy. Because there's a pile of them that have broken off, on the ground. And before we got down that night, though, my friend was a little bit ahead of us, and we saw him crouching down. And we still had like maybe another 50 feet to get down this rock, and you could see the lake down there, And it's starting to get dark. My friend was looking down there. He's like, I think I see some fireflies down there. And me and my other buddy like, no, man, you don't see fireflies. There's no fireflies on the West Coast. There isn't. There's no fireflies here. He's like, well, what is that? And we come down there and we're looking, and sure enough, there's a bunch of fireflies. It's pretty much unmistakable. The lake's way down there, and it's starting to get dark, but we see these little fireflies buzzing around, like they're just up to something, all buzzing around this one area. And we're like, wow, and we watched them for a while, we're tripping. It's getting darker and darker, and watching these fireflies dance around, Like, that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I can't believe what we're witnessing right now. That is so fucking cool. I was just feeling like blessed. I was like, wow, this is insane. What the fuck? We're the first people to see fireflies out here. Are we making like a discovery or something? That is so cool. What a thing to see when you're tripping, And like we watched them for a while, and like after a while they started like flying closer to each other. It was kind of weird. We're like, what are they doing? And they kind of grew even closer and closer, and then they all sort of fused into one big firefly. That wasn't actually a firefly. It was a reflection of the moon in the lake. And we look up, and there's the moon. It had finally come all the way over the horizon, It's like, okay. So that wasn't fireflies. That was just the moon. Okay. Whoa. So that's where our minds are at. We were getting fucked with by nature that night. And so this is what ended up happening. We get back down to our camp finally after all that shit, it might not seem like a big deal when I tell the story, but it's like, for me, it was like just all these mind-bending things, the clouds telling me to be quiet, and the big crystals the size of my head, and then the fireflies that were actually a moon. And get down to the camp, we're like, I'm gonna make some fucking hot chocolate or something, like I go down, and I was gonna start the fire again, but then I realized the fire was still burning. And it had been burning the whole time we were doing our whole fucking adventure, right? For hours. And I'm like, the fire is still burning, you guys. We're like, what? Oh, fuck. And we realized that the dirt wasn't quite dirt. We were just too excited to go and do our trip. We didn't bother thinking through what we were doing. And we had started a fire, dude. And so it's like, well, fuck, so the lake is like 300 feet down this hill, so there's no trail, you have to like jump over stumps and branches and shit, and to get down there. And we only have like pots, like you make your soup in or whatever. That's the biggest container we have. We had a water bag, actually, one of these water bags you fill up and hang it at your camp. So that we use that too. But like, okay, well, we better start getting some water, because we pull all this stuff out, and it was like hot, you could feel it was hot. It's burning, it's cooking, and it's burning down. And we're way up on this plateau, and it's like, it's a bad scene, all right? So we go down, we start huffing water up, dumping water in. We got like, now there's like one person who's stirring the water and like scooping the wet stuff out, and there's two people gathering water, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for hours, and like scoop the wet shit out. We took turns being the scooper, I was just scooping this stuff out, You know, by the time they come back with the next water supply, I got all the wet shit out, and it was fucking hot again. Like hot. You didn't want to put your hand all the way down. It was hot. And like, you know, we just dumped a bunch of water on. I scooped it all out and fucking here they come with more water. I'm like, still hot. Hurry up, get more. You know, and like it went on like that for hours. I was panicking. I was like, fucking dude, this is so fucked. What are we gonna do? You know? Like, what are we gonna do? We just lit the woods on fire. Like, this is a bad scene, you know. And fucking, we stayed up all night doing that, and by the morning, it finally wasn't hot anymore. It was still kind of warm, though, but it finally wasn't. You know, I think we put it out, but we didn't know. But we just got the fuck out of there, basically, at that point. And we never heard about any fires. I don't know, but it's like we put a valiant effort in. Let me put it that way. But it was a fucking nightmare. Nature taught us a lot of things that night, which is, well, don't let your senses fool you. You live on a globe. Just kidding. Don't believe the things you're seeing. They're not true. We still had a few more weeks after that to hike through the woods. It was a blast. We hiked all the way to Tahoe from Yosemite. It took a month. I'm going to see if I can find a guitar string. I might just give up, though, on that for now and go get some new strings today. Maybe that's what I'll do right now. Get some strings. All right. I'm going to have a smoke first. So what are you guys doing? You like my stories? You like my stories? It's a good idea. To Elon, yeah, huh? He doesn't really talk to Elon, but he has met him before, though. That's the thing. There's got to be someone who, like a flat earther, that sees my vision, that thinks it's worth investing in, and making it happen. And then we got to like go pitch it as a book that teaches about the globe. And that's when the deception has to take place. We actually have to play kind of like a little bit underhanded, you know. I mean, you kind of have to do it like that. I think it's a good cause. What do you think? Do you think that's deceptive of me to do it like that? To not just say at the end of the book, dude, joke's on you. The circles just keep getting bigger. Come on, think about it, you know? I think it's better to let the person make that step themselves. Because if a kid can figure it out themselves, then it's like, you know, they just see how dumb it is, you know? They're just like, okay, you know, so then when they hear about the globe later, when they're teaching them about it, it's be like that they'll refer back to that book, you know, and be like, okay, that's what you think Earth is? That doesn't really make any sense, but okay, you know. I think it's not deceptive. I think it's more of just like, I want to like hold your hand through this because it's kind of a big wake up, you know. It's not something that everybody handles all that well, you know. It's sort of like a weird experience to go through. You're like, for a minute, you're like, where the fuck am I? You know, it's sort of like, wait a minute, where the fuck am I? It's kind of unsettling at first, but then it becomes just fun as fuck because there's other people out there like us. We're not alone. And it's kind of spooky though, in the sense where there's like, well, they were faking that shit on the ISS. That's all fake. That's kind of dark, man. That's crazy. That's fucking, that's creepy. Those people are weird. But do those people really seem like the right stuff to you? You know what I mean? They passed all the rigorous training, and those people on the ISS that make the interviews, you know, where the arms folded all like, do they seem like the fucking toughest of the tough, the hardest of the hard, the right stuff? They passed all their rigorous training, and you know, do those people seem like that to you? Yeah, cringy as fuck. I mean, it's just like those people are little weasels, you know. Like those people wouldn't be able to stand up in a fucking fist fight. They're little weasels. They're just little bitch boys, you know, and bitches. Freaking, they're just like, look at my hair. It's all spiked. I have an ugly fro. Watch what I do with it. They're so fucking rude, you know what I mean? They're just like, they're going through the trouble to fool everyone. And they're just like little scrawny little dirt bags, you know? It's like, they're not the toughest, the right stuff. What a sham, dude. I mean, it's like the Neil Armstrongs and the, you know, Buzz Aldrins of the world. that whole thing has vanished. You know what I mean? It's like they try to make them seem like heroes and stuff now, but I don't think it really flies anymore. It's like I remember thinking that because the movie The Right Stuff, I saw that movie and I remember thinking, wow, those guys are hard ass. Those guys are bad. Fucking hardcore, man. And it would be if it was true, but it ain't. I mean, can you imagine? I'm gonna get on this rocket, this thing the thrusters. You see those things? I mean, if that shit's real, I'm gonna go get on top of that, and some of them bend in half and break and blow up, and I'm gonna go hope that one doesn't do that, and I'm gonna get on top of that, and it's gonna shoot me off the earth, and I'm gonna go flying into space where there's no fucking air. We're gonna travel for 100,000, 200,000, 230,000 miles away from home into a fucking vacuum where there's no air. Nobody's ever been before. And you're just gonna have to rely on whatever you got with you there to make your way back home. Just hope it all works out. You think there's people that would do that? Really? I mean, if it was possible, maybe. I don't think so. I think you'd have to be pretty insane to want to do something like that. And I sure as fuck don't think you'd be goofing off playing golf and fucking dancing and singing and fucking running around like a dork. I think you'd be like, this is crazy. Let's get the fuck out of here now. We'll call Nixon later. Let's just get the fuck, man. We made it. Let's go home. Get some rocks, scoop that shit out. Let's get the fuck out of here, man. I don't like this. We're not supposed to be here, man. This is not cool. We take some pictures or whatever. I don't know about why we don't see any stars. It's kind of weird. Let's get the fuck out of here, man. This is weird. Where are we? It's one small step for man. They're all like valiant and noble. There's no nervous, no concern. Singing. La la la, running around. Shut up. Get over it, dude. What a hoax. I mean, people still defend that shit. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's so frustrating. I mean, you have to make it past that. I mean, like, just use 9/11 as a crutch, because that's obviously a government fucking, that they obviously lied. That's just like obvious. They lied. Use that as a crutch, Okay, well, they lied about that. That's pretty serious. So maybe they lied about the moon too. Use the 9/11 as a crutch, because that is an obvious lie. Obvious fact. You can't argue it. You shouldn't. Because if you do, you must be a paid shill. Yeah, right? They would die. You're going to go to 17,000 miles per hour? You think you can do that? How do you film something going that fast? Give me a break. That's just ridiculous. What a lie. It's a lot of nerve, man. That really is. I mean, they just fucked everyone's heads up. They shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that, man. That's whack. That's fucking whack. And you shouldn't have done that. Imagine that. That's whack. You shouldn't have done that crap. Jack, that's whack. And you shouldn't have done that. Jack, imagine that. You shouldn't have done that. Boat, what are you whining about? Boat. What are you doing, Boat? I'm gonna lay down in the shade. Oh, that looks cozy. Boat, kitty, wow. Oh, Boat, you're cute. I like Boat. Is that your little buddy, Boat? He's got his little buddy named Crackers. Or is that your daddy? I think that's Boat Daddy. I didn't see him. What are you sniffing the exhaust pipe for, you weirdo? Don't do that. Maybe I'll try to play the old 4-string. Oh, I busted a B string. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's great. I thought I busted the G string. Oh, fuck yeah. All right. That changes everything. I got a B. I might even have a B right here. No, that's an E. Well, fuck it. I can play a 4-string. Play a 4-banger. I drive a 4-banger. I can play a 4-banger. I drive a Boxer, though. It's not your typical V-shaped engine. It's a Boxer like a Porsche, but it ain't no Porsche. No, sirree. I can't afford no Porsche 911. A 911. Interesting number they chose for that. Oh, I could afford a Subaru, though. It's a Boxer engine. It's fast as fuck. Because it goes out like this on the side. That's why they call it a Boxer. Instead of the V shape, they're going like this. Boxer. In case you were curious what the fuck I'm talking about. I play my 4-banging guitar, 4 strings and 1 other fucking string, but I ain't gonna touch that thing. Oh, sirree. Look at me, I can play a 4-banger, drive my Boxer and just make with it what I will. Gotta shift it into 3rd if you know you're gonna climb that hill. And you better resist all the urges that make you wanna go out and kill. Eat plenty of lasagna till you know that you've had your fill. Yeah. Okay, that's my song for today. Ooh, baby, now kick it up a notch. Give it all you got, yeah. That 4-banger, bang that thing. Play that 4-banger and sing. That's what I'm gonna do for you. Ooh, yeah. Banging that thing with my fingers. Till I broke the B string, busted that thing right, snap, pop that shit. Can you hear my cat going? Boat has the cutest meow. He's like, wow. Come in the room and be like, meow, 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 meow. And just won't shut up. It's so cute, but it's kind of annoying. He's doing that right now. They're looking at each other. Are you guys going to be nice? They're talking. Look at what are you guys saying to each other? I wonder what they're saying. They're like, wow, leave me alone. Why are you looking at me like that? Sorry, I'm all shaky. Too much coffee. There's a lot of fake ass weird shit these days, you know what I mean? There's a lot of fake ass weird shit these days, everywhere you look it seems. There's a lot of fake ass weird shit these days. And you gotta fake it to make it, fake it to make it. You wanna fake it to make it, if you fake it to make it, your success is fucking fake. Off the cuff, rough talk of intelligence. Talk of intelligence, stuff and not too much relevance. Developments, peculiar elements, telepathic pelicans, and elephants. There's a lot of fake ass weird shit these days. There's a lot of fake ass weird shit coming down the pipe. It's like garbage in, garbage out. There's a lot of fake ass weird shit these days. Gotta fake it to make it. Fake it to make it. If you wanna fake it to make it and you fake it to make it, your success is fucking fake. Off the cuff, rough talk of intelligence. off the cuff, off the cuff, rough talk of intelligence. Stuff and not too much relevance. Oh, babe, developments, peculiar elements, telepathic pelicans and elephants. We're all in this together, telepathically. We're all in this together, telepathically. And I can tell a pathological liar from a mile away these days. I said I can tell a pathological liar from a mile away these days. Off the cuff, rough talk of intelligence. Off the cuff, talk of intelligence. Stuff of not too much relevance. Developments, peculiar elements, telepathic pelicans and elephants. We're all in this together, telepathically. All in this together, telepathically. I can tell a pathological liar from a mile away. Yeah. If you got nothing new to say, if you'll please go right up the track, this train's got to run today. I spent a little time on the mountain, spent some time on the hill. Heard some say you better run away, others say better stand still. I don't know what I was told. In the heat of the sun, a man died of cold. Keep on running, don't stand and wait. The sun getting dark and the hours so late. I can't overlook the light jack of any other highway to ride. It's got no signs or dividing lines and very few rules to guide. I spent a little time on the mountain, spent some time on the hill. I saw things I don't understand, but I think in time I will. What I was told, I heat of the sun and kind of cold. Keep on running, don't stand and wait. The sun getting dark and hours so late. Oh yes, one way or another, one way or another. This darkness has got to give. This darkness has got to give. Darkness has got to give. Who can deny it's not just a change in style? One step gone and another begun, and I wonder how many miles. I spent a little time on the mountain, I spent some time on the hill. saw things getting out of hand, but I guess they always will. I don't know what I was told. If the horse don't pull, you got to carry the load. I don't know whose box that's strong. Maybe find out before too long. Ooh, yes, one way or another. One way or another. One way or another. This darkness has got to give. This darkness has got to give. Darkness has got to give. This darkness has got to give. Darkness has got to strange, beautiful fluorescent green. Can you ever watch space movies again? Now that you know you're not on a third stone from the sun, spinning around through nowhere for no reason at all. Nope, that was all just a big old joke. That's what my book is supposed to be. It's like, the point is, the book, it's a joke. The joke's on you at the end. It's like, did you learn your lesson? No. Well, the joke's on you. You live on a globe. That is what would happen if you lived on a globe. You'd keep acquiring more and more property, more and more and more, more and more, more, more. And then the circles start to shrink, and you only own what's in the circle, fool. And it shrinks back down to nothing, and then a little rabbit pops out. Hey, look, joke's on you. You live on a globe. That sucks for you. But in reality, the circles just keep getting bigger. I mean, give me a break. How are you going to draw a smaller circle around the outside of another circle? I mean, that's a fool's errand. Because, like, check it out. On a small scale, like this distance scale, I mean, the maps have scales on them. Like, not scales like a snake, but like, I'm talking like, does it scale out? Yes, it does. Okay, so check it out. If you can draw a circle on the ground and you can't draw a smaller one around the outside of it, like right here, just in your immediate presence, it's just like a little demonstration. You can't draw a smaller circle around the circle that you just drew. So why in the fuck would you be able to if it was a really big one? Oh, because Earth is a globe. How dumb. That's just dumb. Nobody thought this shit through? It's just dumb. Come on, man. I mean, what the fuck? 2,500 years and nobody had that thought? That's like 2,500 years of face palming. They need to catch up. And it's a lot of face palming that has to be doing. I mean, we got to go through a lot of face palming now. Because that's pretty pathetic, dude. I mean, I'm not that smart, am I? Jeez, I never felt like I was like gifted with some like brilliant, like, intelligence that nobody else, you know what I mean? I always felt like pretty normal. But, like 2,500 years and not one person had that thought. Oh, brother. This is the big dumb down. We're so cutting edge. We're so smart. Anyone else notice that the Bluetooth symbol, the icon for Bluetooth it's not a B and a T, it's a B and an X. I guess an X could be a sideways T. But you would think like BT would be like the icon. Let's fuse a B and a T together and make it look like a Bluetooth icon. It's a B and a T. No, it's a B and an X. We sure see a lot of X's, don't we? X marks the spot. X marks the beast. XB, XB. Bluetooth X marks the beast. X and a B. It's not a B and a T. It's an X and a B. Marks the beast. The Bluetooth. What if it was that simple? Everyone's got their own little Bluetooth installed in their arteries. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Get that mark of the Bluetooth marking you. They want to mark you. But you won't get that mark unless you've been coerced and fucking put in a real shitty situation by someone claiming to be helping you out of a situation. That old Hegelian dialectic has really been kind of exploited to the fullest extent. They co-opt every stage of it. Let's pretend there's a huge problem, and then let's go act out the reaction ourselves, and then let's go bring a solution to this thing. That's, well, we're all just sitting there going, what's going on? The fuck? What just happened? Why don't you guys just be honest? I mean, you think you're fooling us or something like this? Sure went through a lot of trouble just to do something, you know. I mean, wow. It's pretty sad. I guess maybe your dumb down didn't work as thoroughly as you thought it did, you know. I mean, or maybe you need to have a few dissenters here and there just to get the proper, like, you know, just to make sure your algorithms predicted things accurately. It's like we can't help but help, you know, even if we don't want to help. We're training that AI every day. Get that thing up and running, man. Get that thing fully trained. There won't be a single human action that will be unpredictable. It'll all be figured out. We'll have it down to a science. Digitally, you'll be so predicted. There won't be a single thing you do in your life that won't have been already fucking predicted before you do it, because you're so predictable, because our AI is so much smarter than you, has so much of a grip on what you're doing and who you are and what to expect from you. Even if you're a dissenter who hates it, you're still training the AI. So the only thing you can do to not do that is to fucking get off the internet. But even then, there's fucking spraying. Look at right there, right up in the sky. It's there every day. They're spraying us with metal particulates. They admit to doing it. It's kind of faint, but you know, it's there. Just trust me. Just trust me. I'm not lying. See, there it is. So, like, even if you don't get online and you don't want to participate, you're being crop dusted with nanodust, smart dust. They're fucking terraforming this place. I'm not paranoid. Fuck you, man. They're trying to turn us all into robots. Ah! I love you guys. Don't be a stranger in my echo chamber.